Hi everyone, my name is Marta and I'd like to thank the APAC board for having recognized my research, how to teach English in a solidary way while cooperating with the NGO supporting healthcare in Kenya. As the runner-up for the John McDowell Award, I'm super grateful and excited to share my project with all of you. So let me introduce myself. I'm Marta, I'm 32 years old, and currently I'm working at Institut Bisbal Sevilla in Calella. However, my vocation for humanitarian issues has also led me to set up, in my free time, my own NGO called Supporting Healthcare in Kenya. It all started in 2018 when I was volunteering in Kenya, and unfortunately, I got very sick. I got sepsis, dengue fever, and parasitic infection. I had to be hospitalized there, in a local hospital in Mombasa. But despite my diseases, I couldn't help but feeling privileged. I appreciated being treated in a hospital, unlike the vast majority of population in Kenya who cannot afford hospital expenses. That feeling of social injustice made me promise myself I would set up my own NGO as soon as I could go back home, and so I did. In 2019, I flew back to Kenya with my own registered foundation, whose main objective at that time was to provide children with medical assistance when needed, especially those who lacked access to the medical system. However, as months went by, I realized that nutrition and education were two other objectives I could not overlook. I'm a teacher and I know the importance of education in childhood. So at that moment, I decided I would also set up a school in Kenya. And so far, I've already schooled 122 children whom I found in very vulnerable conditions. Nowadays, I provide all of them, the 122 children, with not only medical assistance, but also education, breakfast, and lunch on a daily basis. How do I manage, you may wonder, because my NGO covers all their basic needs. I really struggle to raise funds, this is the truth. But my NGO is intrinsic in me. It goes with me everywhere I go. So during the school year, when I'm working in Catalonia, my NGO joins the EFL classroom, so that my students can also benefit from the wonderful values that go hand in hand with it, like being solidary, empathy, helping others, social awareness. But the good thing is that not only my students benefit from it, but also my children in Kenya. And this is where my project takes part, and I'd like to share it with you. I've designed a syllabus for teaching English in a solidary way. It is a great pleasure for me to let my students know about my NGO in Kenya, and when they find out, they always react by claiming they want to collaborate. It is undeniable that the students' reaction to the activities that we design for them in class is a direct response to the engagement and the involvement they see in the teacher. So asking them to collaborate in such a personal and special project for me really engages them to respond to the challenges embedded in my school in Kenya, always inherent in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and of course aligning with the Catalan curriculum, as I will detail now. To design this solidary English teaching project for First of ESO, I've taken into account the LOMLOE, the LEC, Decree 175/2022, Decree 150/2017, and the European Framework of Reference for Languages. This solidary syllabus contains 6 learning scenarios which deal with the 10 specific competencies of the EFL subject. The knowledge is directly linked to the 10 specific competencies, and these are, in turn, linked to the assessment criteria. Regarding the structure of the learning scenarios, I've taken into account the learning cycle, and the assessment is ongoing, global, and formative. This solidary syllabus takes into account the 6 vectors of secondary education, especially the vector which fosters a democratic, critical, and committed citizenship with a global conscience. My aim is to give students voice and choice to make this world a better place for all of us, and to acquire a global look and awareness of the poor conditions in developing countries. Additionally, this syllabus has a special focus on well-being because inviting my students to participate in a solidary project fosters their self-esteem and sense of belonging in the society. To sum up, integrating the EFL teaching in a solidary project enables students to think critically, become empathetic, very important among teenagers nowadays, and respond to the real challenges of the real world In this case, the real challenges of my NGO supporting healthcare in Kenya, and the final outcomes and products of the learning scenarios of this syllabus will have a real impact in my school. So many children in poor conditions will benefit from our students learning English. I think that's wonderful, isn't it? Thanks for your attention and your recognition. If you want to have a look at my project, you can find it on social media at marta.mamawatoto. That's the name of the school there. Thank you very much.